for me. So we can try and work that in. And then we're going to start sitting up today. If you really want to lay down, it's your practice. You go right ahead. You got it. We can do that. Definitely. Oh, so sit up nice and tall. A comfortable seat, whatever that means for you today. You might have one leg extended out to the side or both legs extended or sitting crisscross applesauce. That's what they call it now. It was Indian style when I was a kid. But yeah, whatever is working for you right now, just a nice comfortable seat. It might also involve putting a blanket under your hips, which is what I'm going to do. Because it's back to being early for me. I actually really liked teaching in Colorado because everything was like an hour later than what I'm accustomed to. So it was lovely. All we're doing here is letting the sits bones ground down and lifting the heart. So the spine can come really nice and tall and just free up the energy that's moving there. And we'll breathe. I'm just going to arrive here. We're going to let, 4:30 a.m. cat mowing go. And we're going to let aches go. We acknowledge that these things are there, right? When we dismiss them, it's not like we're trying to eliminate them. We acknowledge them and then say, okay, but I'm taking my energy and I'm moving on now. And we're going to just let that energy come and settle right into this space today. Right here. I'm here right now. And as I say that, you might take a few moments to set your intention for practice. Maybe it's as simple as I just need to get really present with myself right now. I need to tune in. Tune in is a great mantra, by the way. Let's just take one more breath all together. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Feel those shoulders release. Release the hands, and slowly we'll start to move through the neck. Maybe that means turning and looking side to side or looking up and down or half circles like I'm doing. You just want to hold an ear to a shoulder and switch sides. Maybe try a couple of different ways to move the neck. Just observe what happens in the body as we're taking these shapes. And we'll drop the chin all the way down to the chest. Pause. The head is so heavy here. The back of the neck gets a really nice, lovely long stretch. And float that head back up. If you're sitting with one foot in front of the other, we're going to switch here. We're going to be moving back and forth, side to side. And now we'll start to shrug and roll the shoulders. Happy March, everybody. Welcome to a new month. We might even start to work a little bit of easy twist here. So we're looking side to side. I'm not even taking my hand across the body. Left hand on left knee, right hand on right thigh. We're just turning. It's also opening up through the front of my shoulder a little bit. It's kind of lovely. And then maybe we start to move through the rib cage and circle it around. Rocking from sit bone to sit bone. And go in the opposite direction. Let's just come to center here. Bring the palms face up underneath your knees. We're going to use that as a little grip to pull the heart up and forward. Let the low back press forward. Let the belly stretch, and then turn the palms down And drop the heart back in space, chin to chest. And seated cow and cat. Inhale to lift. Exhale, roll through. This is sort of a lovely, safe space to explore how the back feels today, especially if you notice tightness. Instead of going straight to a child's pose or a tabletop cow-cat, there's a little more support here. The movement's a little bit smaller. And we'll come all the way up nice and tall. Release the feet out in front of you. Fingertips just come right to the earth, right under the shoulder. You can bring them wherever it feels good. I know bringing the hands back can be a lot into the shoulders. So just using a little bit of a support for your base here. I'm just gonna rock the knees out a little side to side. I don't need to touch the ground. Just starting to ask through the hips a little bit. Hey, what's happening? And then we will swing around into tabletop all fours. Set yourself up mindfully. If you've got your little blanket, you can slide it out of the way. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Crown of the head reaches forward. And for those of us who are practicing at home and we're not in a studio where your instructor can really help and look and say, you know, shift your hands this way or that way, the best way to know what your alignment looks like is to take a little video of yourself or a picture. Just set your camera up with a timer, take the shape and then take the picture. And then if you're ever not sure, I mean, with my classes, I'm always available by text for my peeps. Send it to a teacher. Just say, hey, what do I do to adjust this? Am I in the right place? Breathing. Notice what's happening with the belly here. We haven't really started with a cow belly, right? So we're not dropping low. The core should be a little bit engaged. Feel that beautiful expansion in the rib cage. I don't know about you, but in tabletop, I really get the experience of the side body, of the ribs really opening, kind of a 360 degree here, because there's no compression in my rib cage. Next breath, we're going to drop the belly, lift the head, heart, and hips. Pause here for a moment. It doesn't have to be the absolute deepest you can take this shape. Try not to let the rib cage sink towards the earth too much. And then maybe we rock the hips a little side to side. Back in the center. Take one more deep breath in here. And exhale, starting with the tailbone, ripple through the spine, chin to chest. Cat pose. And then again, we'll shift the hips a little side to side. Maybe even start to circle them around. Shift the weight front to back. And take another exhale here. And on your inhale, start to move through cow and cat. Notice if you've given up gripping with the fingerprints now and you're just resting in the wrists, and see if you can't adjust that. And at some point here, you might pick up a hand and wiggle fingers and circle the wrist. Or start to circle or bump the hips. Nod the head yes and shake it no. If child's pose sounds lovely, you might rock back into child's pose for a breath. And then at some point when we're ready here, we're going to come back towards tabletop, tuck the toes under, lift the knees, feel the core engage, and then slide the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet. Walk that dog, whatever that means in your body today. What do you need to move? How do you need to move? You might lift both heels up, pivot them towards the right side of the mat, and slowly release them down. Lift and go the other way. Move a little bit into the IT band there. Maybe come back to center, pedal the feet. Definitely want to nod the head yes and shake it no. See, my kitty is singing to me now. Probably means there's a bird outside. And then see if you can't simply lift the hip creases, really engage the core to push the hips up high. Let the heels drop to where they drop to. They don't need to touch the earth. That's just the way it's the direction the energy heads. Grip with the fingerprints. Externally rotate those upper arms. So you're turning your soft part of your bicep towards your ears. And pause for a whole breath in. And a whole breath out. And then we'll rise up on the toes, bend the knees, and take a nice walk up to the top of the mat. Feet at least 6 inches apart here. Nice bend in the knees. Let the upper body rest on the thighs. Maybe turn the palms up, open and close little fingers. Take a little bit of a sway side to side, maybe like ragdoll. If your low back is a little achy today, sometimes ragdoll feels like too much to me. I still want the support in my hands. So you can put the hands on the ground or on a block and then still get a little bit of sway, just feeling into that. And the more you notice it in your back, the softer you want to be in your knees. And then wherever your hands are, release them. Bring the palms to your shins. Engage the core muscles to lift the back and extend the crown of the head forward. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, soften the knees and fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Strong front body. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, soften and fold. One more time, lift up halfway. Notice if you're sitting all the way into your heels and maybe shift the weight towards the ball joints just a little. Deep breath in. Exhale, lower the hips. We're thinking chair pose here. And then push the ground away. Press down to rise up. Palms kiss overhead. Exhale, hands come into the heart. Inhale, deep breath up. Forward fold, let it go. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, soften and fold. We're going to step back. You have 2 choices. You can go back to tabletop or you can step to plank, top of your push-up. And you can do plank with your knees up or knees down. If you're in tabletop, take a cow and a cat. If you're in plank, just hang out here for a moment. And we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Inhale up on the toes, drop the heart back, bend the knees, walk it up, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, soften and fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, lower the hips, low chair. Inhale, push down, rocket ship rise up, fingers kiss. And exhale, hands drop to the heart. 2 more times. Inhale, breathe all the way up. Forward fold, let it go. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold, tabletop or plank, yogi's choice. You can hold your plank this time, or if you'd like, you can take a vinyasa, flow through chaturanga to cobra or up dog. And we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Inhale up on the toes, drop the heart back, walk it up top of the mat, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, lower the hips. Inhale, push the sky, nice flat back. Exhale, hands to heart. Last time through. Inhale, deep breath up. Forward fold, let it go. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale and fold. I'm checking on you. Tabletop or plank, yogi's choice. If you're in table, cow, cat. If you're in plank, you can hold or you can go through your vinyasa. It's yogi's choice. We will meet in downward facing dog. Very nice, everybody. Up on the toes, walk or hop it up, top of the mat. Forward fold, let it go. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, lower the hips. Inhale, push up to the sky. Exhale, hands into the heart. All right, walk the feet together, really together. If you need more stability, keep the feet a little bit wider, but we're gonna move into a chair pose. And for me, having my body physically in towards the midline really helps me find stability here. So inhale, take a deep breath up. Exhale, sink into chair pose. I almost always keep my hands in at the heart center because it puts a little less strain on the low back. You can also tuck the tailbone under, really pull belly in towards spine. It's gonna lift you up a little bit out of your shape, but that's okay. I'd rather have a safe back. You are welcome to bring these arms up. A nice deep breath in wherever your hands are. And then we're gonna exhale the right hand back and the left hand forward, but keep the knees nice and even. Inhale, lift back to chair. Exhale, all the way up to mountain, hands into the heart. Inhale, deep breath up. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, reach the right hand forward and the left hand back. The right knee wants to press forward, the hips want to pivot. We want to keep the hips neutral and turn just from the waist. And if you want support for the back, you can wrap the arms around here if the open arms is too much. Inhale, back to chair. Up to mountain, hands into the heart. Inhale, deep breath up. Forward fold, let it go. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Tabletop or plank, do your thing. Meet me in downward facing dog. Up on the toes, walk or hop to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Start to walk the feet together. Inhale and lift halfway. Exhale, lower the hips. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale the right hand back, left hand forward. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Hips come up. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, lower the hips. Here we go. Balance move. Inhale up. And as the hands pull into the heart, we're going to lift the left foot. If you're not feeling balanced today, then you just lift the left heel, toes in the earth. You're more than welcome to come all the way up here. And breathe. Find a focal point that isn't moving. Notice all the shifts that happen in the body to maintain balance. See if you can't lift that knee a tiny bit higher. Exhale, set the left foot down. Inhale, deep breath up. Forward fold, let it go. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Tabletop or plank, do your thing. Meet me in downward facing dog. Up on the toes, walk or hop it up, top of the mat. Forward fold, walk the feet together. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, low chair, drop the hips. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, chair pose. Right hand forward, left hand back. Exhale the hands down, hold those legs. Touch down and then lift hips. Inhale and lift halfway. Exhale, drop the hips, low chair. Here we go. Inhale up to the sky. Hands to heart, and it's the right knee coming up. I like to flex or point my lifted foot. It engages muscle along the bone, so it's not just a hip flexor in the core holding my foot up. One more breath in. Exhale and release that foot all the way down. Inhale, deep breath up. Forward fold, let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Tabletop or plank. Do your thing, float. Meet me in down dog. Up on the toes, walk or hop it up, top of the mat. Walk the feet together, forward fold. Inhale and lift halfway. Exhale, low chair, drop the hips. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, it's the left foot lifting. Put the left foot down. Inhale, deep breath up. Exhale, chair pose. Ooh, left down piece. Inhale, right hand back, left hand forward. Exhale, hands to the ground. Forward fold. Here we go. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, low chair. Inhale to the sky. Now exhale, the left foot comes up. If you want to challenge your balance, take the right hand across the body. So I'm going outside my left knee. Now reach the left hand back, taking a little twist. Release the hands. Woo, fight for the balance. Step the left foot back. Warrior one. Heel is pivoted back, toes are angling forward. We're aiming for sort of neutral alignment towards the front of the mat. So you need to adjust the back foot so the hips can kind of come neutral forward. In warrior one for me, that means my hips are pointing at the top left corner of my mat. They're not going to go square to the front, not without hurting my back, knee, or ankle. That's perfectly fine. That's still the front of the mat. We're good. Inhale, both hands up. Breathe. Push into the pinky toe of that back foot. Don't roll into the arch. Release the hands. Lift the back heel. Step it up, top of the mat. Hands to the heart. Inhale, deep breath up. Forward fold, let it go. All the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Tabletop or plank, do your thing. And we meet in downward facing dog. Up on the toes, bend the knees, walk or hop it up, top of the mat. Bring the feet together, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, low chair, hands on shins. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, chair pose. Left hand back, right hand forward. Breathe in. Keep the legs folded down, forward fold. When the hands touch down, then the hips lift. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, lower the hips. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, the right knee lifts. Left hand crosses over. If you fall out, have a little fun. It's all good. And you can still do this with the toes. So left hand crosses over, right hand reaches back, right? You don't need to come here. Also, note to self, when you turn and look in a different direction, because if you want a super challenge, try looking at your back hand. When you move your gaze in balance pose, go slowly, because that is where you will get wobbly. Beautiful. Come back to center, reach the hands up overhead. Exhale the right foot back, find your warrior one. Left toes forward, right toes angled, pushing into the pinky toe, neutral forward alignment here. Left knee over left ankle, reach those hands all the way up. This is a warrior pose. Find your strength in being grounded here. If it's not working for you, if you feel like you're hovering over the earth, make a change in how you're angled. Fix something, shift something until you find that spot where you're like, oh, I could put roots down right here. I got this. Next exhale, let the hands come all the way down. Lift the back heel, step it up, top of the mat, hands in the heart. Inhale, deep breath up. Forward Forward fold, let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Tabletop or plank, yogi's choice, do your thing. We meet in downward facing dog. Up on the toes, walk or hop at top of the mat, feet together, forward folds. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, lower the hips. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, right hand back, left hand forward, squeeze those knees. Inhale, hands to the ground. Exhale, hips lift. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower the hips. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, left knee comes up. Inhale, right hand across. Left hand back. Inhale, center. Exhale, left foot steps back. Warrior one, hands come up. Pivot the back heel, right elbow to right thigh. Left hand down, forward and up. Extended side angle. Press up warrior two. Pivot back to warrior one. Lift the back heel, step it up, top of the mat, hands in the heart. Inhale, deep breath up. Forward fold, let it go. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Step it back, do your thing. Meet me in downward facing dog, darling. Up on the toes, heart drops back, walk or hop it. Feet together, forward folds. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower the hips. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, right hand back, left hand forward. Exhale, hands touch down. Inhale, the hips up. Exhale, the hips come down, shift your gaze forward. Inhale to sky. Exhale, right foot comes up. Left hand across, right hand back. Exhale, both hands come forward. Step the right foot back. Warrior one. Breathe up. Pivot open, elbow to thigh, right hand down, forward and up. Extended side angle. Press up, warrior two. Pivot the right foot, warrior one. Lift the back heel, step it to the top of the mat, hands come into the heart. Deep breath up. Forward fold, let it go. Inhale and lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Tabletop or plank, do your thing. Downward facing dog. Walk or hop at top of the mat. Forward fold, feet together. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, lower the hips. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, right hand forward, left hand back. Exhale, hands down, hips up. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, lower the hips. Hello, hamstrings. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, left foot lifts. Right hand comes across, left hand goes back. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, left foot back. Warrior one, neutral to the front. Inhale, lift and pivot, open. Right elbow to thigh, left hand down, forward and up. Extended side angle. Press up and back, warrior two. Pivot to warrior one. Lift the back heel. Step to the top of the mat, hands in the heart. Inhale, deep breath up. Forward fold, let it go. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Table or plank. Do your thing. Meeting downward facing dog. Up on the toes, walk or hop it up. Forward fold, feet together. Inhale and lift halfway. Exhale, lower the hips. Push off. Rocket man to the sky. Exhale, chair pose. Right hand back, left hand forward. Come back to center. Hands come down, hips come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, low chair. Feel those glutes. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, right foot lifts. Inhale, right hand back, left forward. Exhale, return to center. Inhale, right foot back. Exhale, warrior one. Lift and pivot open, warrior two, left elbow to thigh, right arm forward and up, extended side angle. Inhale back to warrior two. Pivot to the front, warrior one. Lift the back heel, step it to the top of the mat. Hands come into the heart. Inhale, deep breath up. One more time through, I'm adding on one more pose at the end. Exhale, forward fold, you got this. Remember your mantra. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. And rely on your breath. Pause here for a second. Step it back. Tabletop or plank. Do your thing. When you lose connection to breath, you've lost connection to your practice. So it's time to pause and reset. Up on the toes, walk or hop it. Feet together, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, lower the hips. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, chair pose. Right hand back, left hand forward. Back to center. Forward fold. Hands down, hips up. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, lower the hips. Inhale, sky. Exhale, left knee up. Inhale, right hand across, left hand back. Exhale, center. Inhale, left foot back, warrior one. Inhale, pivot open, right elbow to thigh, left arm down, forward and up. Side angle. Press it back, warrior two. Pivot to the top of the mat. Release the hands to the hips. Step the back foot halfway up. Straighten through both legs. Pull the right hip crease back and the left hip crease pushes a little forward. So we're again taking these hips to neutral. Three choices. You can bring your hands into prayer. You can give yourself a little fist bump behind the back. You can hold elbows behind the back. Or if reverse prayer is in your practice, you are welcome to take that. Looks like that. Hips are neutral, pull that right hip crease back. We're just gonna fold into a pyramid pose. And you can stay very lifted here. If you wanna release the hands and come all the way nose to knee, you are welcome. Keep both legs as straight as you can. Bend the right knee, hands on the ground. Step the left foot up to the top, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower the hips. Inhale, launch to the sky. Get ready, forward fold, let it go. Last time through. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Step it back, do your thing. Downward facing dog. Soften it all, walk it up, top of the mat, feet together, forward folds. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, lower the hips. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, chair pose. Left hand back, right hand forward. Inhale, forward fold. Exhale, hips come up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower the hips. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, right knee lifts. Left hand across, right hand back. Come back to center. Step the right foot back. Warrior one. Lift and pivot. Left elbow to thigh. Right arm comes down, forward, and up. Extended side angle. Press up and back. Warrior two. Pivot back to warrior one. Release the hands to the hips. Step the back foot about halfway up. Straighten through both legs. Prayer, reverse prayer, whatever's working. Fold, pyramid pose. When you do this with no hands, by the way, on the leg or the ground, it's gonna be a lot of core work. You really need to be strong through the core. You can even bring a hand to your belly. Feel those muscles work. And if you just want the deeper stretch, feel free to come down. Bend the front knee. Step the back foot up to the top, forward fold. Inhale and lift halfway. Exhale, fold, plant the hands. Everybody step back to tabletop, all fours. Toes together, knees open, hips slide back, extend the arms forward, extended child's pose. And pause here, take a couple breaths. Notice anything that shifted in the body. Maybe you made more space somewhere. Maybe you eased a little tension somewhere with movement. Maybe you worked really hard and you're feeling a little soreness in a muscle. These are all shifts, right? We observe the shift without judging it. Man, I'm not sore, I didn't work hard enough today. That's a judgment. We're not gonna say that. Man, I moved with such grace and ease today. Way to go, me. Good job getting on my mat. Yay, body. 2 more breaths here in child's pose. Lift the gaze now, look at your thumbs. Walk the hands to the right side of the mat, maybe even off the mat, and then maybe stack left hand on top of right. Bring the forehead or the left ear down towards the ground. And feel the stretch shift into the low back on the left side. Let the hips stay heavy back towards your heels. Lift your gaze, release the hands. A little bit of a lift here. Come back and pause and center for a moment. Maybe shift the rib cage and the hips, kind of reset. And then walk to the left side. Maybe the right hand comes on top of the left. And the forehead or the right ear comes down. And we're breathing into the right side body, the low back on the right side. Literally the side body along the side of the right ribs. If you feel this too much in your shoulders, just bend your elbows a little bit and create a little less stretch through the upper body. Excuse me. Inhale, lift the gaze. We'll release the hands, walk it back to center. And we're going to come forward onto forearms here. Bring the knees back in. Bring the knees together. Walk them back. Drop the hips down. Sphinx pose. Keep the legs really together here. And then push your hip bones down into the mat. And maybe even push the tops of your feet down into the mat. And just rock a little bit here. See if you can't find a little release in that low back. And then just the head. Turn and look past your right shoulder. And then turn and look past your left shoulder. And now this time, shift your weight into your right elbow. Turn and look all the way back at your right foot. And then shift. Weight to the left elbow. Pivot and look back at the left foot. And then come back to center. A few little neck circles here. Release the upper body all the way down. Hands make a little pillow for chin or forehead. Rock the feet, or rock the hips side to side, and turn the toes in and let the heels shift out. Maybe now we lift the feet and circle the ankles, rock the feet side to side, kick them front to back. And this is a moment to kind of play and explore just a little. Maybe like windmill the feet and turn the feet side to side and get into the ankles, or sparkle through your toes, or there's so many ways you can just shift and play in this little shape. If you ever watch little kids like laying on their bellies, watching TV, reading a book, listening to a story in the park, whatever, they do this. They play with their feet. It's fun. It's okay to have fun right now. But playtime is over. Release the feet back down to the ground. Bring the hands in line with the rib cage. Press up to tabletop, all fours. Now you've got two choices. You can keep the knees right into the hips, or you can take a wide child's pose stance here, knees out, toes together. Either way works. It does change the feeling of the stretch in my body a little bit, so you might try playing with it to see how it works for you. We're going to inhale right hand to sky, and then slide that right arm through, right ear, right shoulder come down. I'm going to leave my left hand right here where it is, because I'm going to tuck my left toes and lift my left knee. It lets me roll into my right shoulder a little more deeply. It does add a little balance component. So if it feels like too much, go back to the regular thread the needle that you know really, really well. And if that left knee's lifted, bring it back down. Press through the left palm, rise back up, reset your body in a way that feels good. Inhale, the left hand up. Big twist here. Left arm slides through, left ear, left shoulder. You are welcome to shift the right hand, or maybe today we bend, we curl the right toes under and lift the right knee. You can take this with the right hand all the way forward. I just think it's a little more balanced than I want right now. So I'm keeping my right hand where it was. If that right knee is lifted, bring it back down. Bring the right hand back to the earth. Press back up, tabletop, all fours. Shift the feet to one side. Slide the hips back. Walk the feet out in front of you. Sit up nice and tall here. Hands can come to shins, to hamstrings, to the earth. If it's available to your shoulders, you can even bring them back behind you. Walk the feet and the knees all the way together. I love you. Please just remember this always. Little hook here on the collarbone. We're starting just with this movement. If you find that sitting in this shape requires like a lot of effort to stay lifted and your feet are on the ground, then my friends, this is your point of tension. This is where you're going to stay, because fighting your way into a boat pose that has lousy alignment isn't actually giving you the benefits of the shape. So work on here, right? Maybe you can sit here with your hands extended and your heart lifted, right? And if you're like, oh, I'm so strong today, I feel amazing, maybe you pick a foot up, or maybe pick 2 feet up. And as soon as I pick 2 feet up, I don't know if you noticed, my heart dropped back in space a little bit. I have to shift and reset. This is playtime. This is not take a boat pose and hold it for a year. This is what can my body give me in this shape today? Maybe that means toes barely come off the mat, right? Maybe it means full extension. What feels good? You got 10 seconds. Play with it. Feel that sensation of the difference between being behind the sits bones and being up forward on them. It makes it so much easier to lift your heart. And then release it and roll it all the way down. Ah, finally, you're like, oh my goodness, this is the first time we've laid down today. I'm so happy right now. Reach those arms out to the side. Take up some space. I think we are all women in the live class of this. And I'm just gonna say, more good women need to be willing to take up their space in the world. This is what I try to convey to my daughter. She's 18. Use your voice, baby. You take up that space. It's yours. Own it and use it in a way that makes the world a better place. Making ourselves small, not taking up space, not using our voice, it just doesn't help anybody. It's not great for you, and it's not great for the world who really needs your beautiful light. There is my little rant for the day. I'll get off my soapbox. Walk the feet out wide as the mat and let the knees start to go side to side. Really, really slowly. Truly, like imagine you are moving in slow motion. Whether you're picturing The Matrix, if you've seen that movie, or they do it all the time in the movies where people, they slow the film down so people move in slow. I want you to slow your tape down and move in slow motion. Get the experience of every shape you make between knees down right and knees down left. And after you've moved through slow-mo a few times, let the knees stay down to the right. Maybe you put right ankle on top of left thigh. Maybe you bring the left ear down towards the mat. If you cross the ankle, release it. If you turned your head, bring your nose back to the sky. And then bring the knees back up to the sky. And then let the knees come over to the left. Take your time getting there. When you arrive, maybe that left ankle comes up on the right thigh. And maybe the right ear starts to come towards the mat. Spinal twist, this is bliss. And if the left ankle's crossed, release it. If the ear is on the earth, bring the nose back to the sky. Bring the knees back up center. And take the right knee in the right hand and the left knee in the left hand and lift the tailbone, set it down gently. Maybe we rock a little bit side to side. Maybe circle the knees right and left. And pause here in the center. Start to lift the feet up towards the sky. Maybe reach for the outside edges or the inside arch today. Or maybe peace fingers, hook the big toes. Happy baby. Take a little movement here. Maybe we straighten one leg and the other. Start to lengthen those hamstrings. We did do a lot of lovely forward folds to balance those chair poses. But eventually, see if you can't find your way into this shape where the shoulder blades are heavy on the earth. The feet are flexed, knees are drawing down. Give yourself a little space here. People so often try to do this with their feet really close together. And personally, I find more benefit if I let the feet open out to get into the hips a little bit. But by all means, make it your own shape today. See if you can't find stillness for a couple of breaths. And then very gently release the hands. Take the right knee in both hands and extend the left leg out. Flex the left foot. Push the hamstring, the back of the left leg down into the ground. And then maybe we let the right knee rock or circle a little bit. See what's happening. And then hug the right knee in. And we're going to lift the left foot up off the mat and bring it up towards the sky. A little bit of a hamstring thing happening here. Circle through that left ankle and then pause for a moment. And then draw the left knee in, reach the right leg out nice and long. Flex the right foot. Press the back of the right leg down like you're holding the mat down, and you're going to float up and fly away if you don't engage those muscles. And we'll rock this left knee a little bit, circle it around, see how this side feels. And then we'll start to lift that right foot up, bring that heel up to the sky, really flex, and then circle the ankle, wiggle the toes, and then come back to that flex last time. And now we take right knee and right hand, left knee and left hand. You've got about, I don't know, a little less than a minute. If you've got a shape that you want that we didn't take, like bound angle or ankle to knee pose, or if you just want to circle through the hips, or if you want to take those 30 seconds to get yourself set up for Shavasana, you're welcome. Just use these few seconds here in a way that really serves you well, that will round out the end of your practice. And then find your way into a shape that you can really rest in. It's super hard to use Shavasana to process and integrate if you feel like you're fighting to be in the shape, if that makes sense. So you want to find a shape where you can just really rest, where you can have ease, real sukha, real ease and softness. Let the body be super heavy here. If you're doing a shape, take it on the other side and then meet us up here in your final resting shape. Got about 15 seconds. And then my challenge to you for the next 4 minutes is to not move your body. Other than letting your heart beat and the breath move, then the autonomic functions, the ones we don't have control over, let those be. But otherwise, try not to wiggle. Don't worry about fixing your t-shirt, pushing your hair out of your face. Just find really deep stillness in whatever shape serves you today. And breathe. This is your chance to do less, right? You're not a human doing. So that you can be, just simply exist. And let your mind wander where it wants to go. Say, oh, look, I'm thinking about that. And then let it go. Oh, look, I'm feeling this way. Acknowledged. Let it go. Breathe easy, my loves. Welcome to Shavasana. Notice, just notice, don't have to move. just notice with your mental awareness how it feels to breathe against the ground, whatever part of your body. So you might be lying on one side, you might have taken child's pose, you might be on your back or legs at the wall, but wherever you're in contact with the earth, feel that pressure of the ground, that gentle, loving touch of the earth as you inhale and expand against that resistance. And then notice the other side of your body that's lifted towards the heavens, towards the sky. Feel the expansion that comes in that space. And then as you start to deepen your breath, start to move your body in a way that feels good, like you're coming back, like you're waking up. So maybe reaching arms overhead and lifting the heart to the sky, taking a whole body stretch. You might want to draw knees into chest, or maybe you want to take a fetal position and curl up on one side. Maybe you move fingers and toes or wrists and ankles. What serves you? Take that. And then as that movement gets a little bigger and the breath gets even deeper, you're either going to come all the way down to your back, or you're going to come up to a seated shape with a nice long spine. No slouch. And then we'll bring the palms of the hands together. My fingers are wide today. I'm taking up my space. The thumbs still come right to the center of the chest, to the heart center. Bow the head for a moment. That great length in the back of the neck one more time. And maybe even whisper your own intention to yourself or say it inside your head. What is it that brought you to your mat? What is this beautiful, positive thing that you can breathe out and share with the world? I feel you guys sharing with me. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.